Hello guys, welcome to another deck profile. This time we got the champion of the 19th Scrub League season on his own this time, Kieran. And he was using Dinomist, not carried. He's using Dinomist, the same one that you used in your first championship with Julian, but this time on your own with Dinomist. And people have been asking for a profile for this, so how was it?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. That performed really well. Didn't lose a single game. Well, I didn't lose a single match. I lost games here and there.
No matches, but you dropped a few games.
Dropped a few games. I should have lost the semi-final.
Yes.
But I got very lucky with a misplay and a call by the grave, which saved me. So, forever grateful.
All right.
Cheers, Danny.
Right, let's start and see what you've got then in the bag.
So first of all, starting with the three scales.
Spin around.
Oh, yeah. Starting with the three scales, we've got 3 Dinomist Ceratops, probably one of the best monsters of the deck. If you only control Dinomist monsters, just spec it out. So basically, it's like a normal summon of another Dinomist level 4. You spec this out, you get Electromite. It's your turbo card basically, and again level 5. So it's really good for Infinity, which I'll show you later on. The next 3 scale, we 3 Dinomist Terror. This card's also really good. Basically, when you attack a monster by battle and destroy it, you get to rotate any Dinomist card that includes trap spells, and the spell and trap cards of this deck are really good, arguably broken. The next 3 scales are Dinomist Stegosaur. This card, not great. I'm debating about cutting it down to 1. I use it more for scale, but it does have a neat little monster effect, which if 2 cards battle, like so if a Dinomist monster battles an opponent's monster, you can hot both after damage calc. Obviously except for this. But it's one of the worst cards in the deck, so I could cut it down, but you need at least 1 for scale. And the last scale 3 for the Dynamist monsters, Dynamist Spinoffs, one of the boss monsters of the deck. It can tribute off another Dynamist to either attack twice or attack directly. It's not a once per turn, so you can tribute it to 2 monsters, attack twice directly in 1 turn. That effect didn't really come up. I used it either more as a scale or again to summon Infinity. But no, it is pretty good. It's a little neat interaction with that. If someone locks you off from attacking something, you just get over it and attack directly instead. All the 3 scales have a neat effect. Basically, if a Dynamist card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, other than that card in the scale, you basically pop it and protect those monsters that would be with those monsters or spells or traps that will be destroyed.
Yeah. Protection.
Then with the 6 scales, we start off with 3 Dynamist Brachion. This card is essentially Cyber Dragon. So basically, if your opponent has the monster with the biggest attack value, you get to spec this out. You can only spec one of these like that. Again, it's really good for a scale. It's really good to summon Infinity because it's level 5. The other really good scale 6 is Dynamist Plesios. This was a hero for playoffs with people just reducing people's attack. So its effect. It reduces people's other opponents' monsters' attacks for each Dynamist card I control, and it stacks. It's really good.
That includes your back row as well.
Yeah, this includes my back row, everything. Like this was an MVP. This was such a sleeper card, and I loved it.
Yeah,
for that reason. Just made it a bit more fun out. Then I ran 2 of the other boss monsters of the deck for the scale 6s. It's Dynamist Rex. This card came in clutch. Once it destroys a monster by battle, you can attribute a Dynamist and either attack again, but to another monster, or you can shuffle a card from hand into the deck, so it gives them 1 less resource, essentially, which is really neat interaction. Again, I use it more as a scale or to get into Infinity, but this effect did come up.
Yeah.
And it was really needed at the time because it was a really good resource that you lost. So
I remember using this effect in one of the matches.
I think it might have been Ice Wario, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The final one is 2 Dynamist Ankylos. Normally I like to try and match my scales, which is why I played 2 of the Stegosaur that I showed earlier. Although I'm thinking about cutting 1 Stegosaur but keeping these at 2. These again, the scale 6 effects are all the same, which I'll explain later. Which was more used as a scale, but on board it's also really good. It's got kind of a sleeper effect, so if I destroy an opponent's monster through a Dynamist battle, it banishes it, which is quite cute. But again, so that's all the scale 6 is. All the scale 6 is basically negate targeting. If you target this, if you target any of my Dynamist cards with a card effect, including Twin Twisters, I can sack off the scale 6 on resolution, and it negates that.
Negates the whole effect.
It negates the whole targeting effect.
Yep.
So basically, you target both my scales with Twin Twisters, for example. I can just sack this off, protect the other scale, so I only lose one scale in the end. Or you target my trap. If you like target my set trap card, which I'll explain later, a cute little interaction is I can flip that trap card, get the scales on because that. If I explain this correctly, and as it checks that resolution, I can pop the scale instead, which really protects it. So that's really a cute interaction as well. So that's all the Dinomist monsters.
Nice.
The next monster I run is 2 Speedroid Passing Glider. I use this basically just to summon it if I have no monsters. Turbo's out Electromite, Turbo's out Infinity. I debate playing Speedroid Passing Glider, Curtain Raiser over this card, just because I think this card's
Abyss
garbage.
Actor.
Yeah, the Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, because this card's garbage. It's just a turbo card, if anything. But Curtain Raiser's a better turbo card in my opinion.
Okay.
That's all the Pendulum monsters. Now we go on to the other monsters I run. 3 Ash Blossom, just for the hand traps. That's the only hand trap I run. It was used a hell of a lot. Sided out a couple of games where it wasn't relevant.
Yep.
And then the last monster I run in the main deck is 2 Barrier Statues of the Torrent, and this card was insane. Basically, a lot of the time if I brick but I open this, I usually saw Compulse or something with it, or like Dinomist, Howling, the trap card. So I was able to bounce their normal summon every time and just control the game from this. This card was quite a good MVP, and in matchups where it wasn't relevant, like against a zombie matchup, I sided it out for game 2. And again, it's just a really good card. I really enjoyed it. Now to the spells. We run 3 Dinomist Charge. This is the rotor of the deck. Searches any Dinomist monster. Also, because it's a continuous spell, its continuous effect is where Dinomist leaves the field. A mandatory effect is to add it back to add one of those back to hand, but that's a once per turn. And you can only activate one once per turn, but you need to run 3 because it's the rotor of the deck. The next spell I run, and the last spell I run, is 2 Pot of Desires. I've tested 3, I don't like 3. I prefer 2. I find with 3, if I end up using Pot of Desires, I'll end up seeing the other desires on my draw. I prefer 2, 2 worked really well, and you don't normally care what you banish, so it's not too bad.
Yep.
And then to the trap cards. To the MVP of the deck, Dinomist Howling.
Howling, of course.
This card plays around anti-spell, it plays around everything. So when you activate it, if your opponent has no response to this activation, you place your scales. So that plays around stuff like anti-spell. So if people send that in against me, I'll decide, okay, I'll just set this, I'll flip it, I'll get the scales anyway, which was really, really strong. And then its other effect is basically a compulsory. You tribute a Dinomist monster, target one card your opponent controls, and just bounce it, which was really strong to stop people going off in combos. To protect my barrier statue in battle phase, it was so good. This was my favourite card of the deck. And then we play 3 Solemn Strike. Again, if people get greedy, or people going for that OTK with Moral Sword, it's really nice just to stop them in their tracks. This was sided out for games that got closer to time because it's cost. I don't want to pay those life points, but other than that, really good card to use. And I play 3 Compulse itself. I like to have the extra bouncing. Again, needed to protect the barrier statue when I brick. Just had to try and keep control of the game. As soon as I have enough resources, it was over. It's too much for opponents to deal with.
Another Dinomist Howling, temporary.
Basically, yeah. It's whilst I'm waiting to see anything else, and it was really good. I wouldn't take it out at all. The only time I would take it out is siding if I was going second. But I plan on going first and setting up at the gateboard anyway. Now for the extra deck. One Metapose Electromite with a Pendulum deck. We need this. This is. So much value. Getting someone from deck to grave, popping a scale, drawing a card. This is so good. Again, this will never come out unless it gets banned. So, but every Pendulum deck needs this, in my opinion. Like, card's too good.
Mandatory.
It is mandatory. This card's too good. The next Link 2 I run is Mr. Boy. Mr. Boy, pretty simple. They're all water monsters. Just easy to get this out. Didn't really use it too much unless I felt like I had to. It's a card I'd like to cut, but I kind of can't because I need those Link arrows. The next Link monster is Nightmare Unicorn. This came up a couple of times. This card is so good. Don't think I'd ever cut this. Again, pretty standard. Shuffle the card. And then for the Borrels, I play Borrel Load and Borrel Sword. This if I'm in a tough situation which I need to like just remove a card from the field. This was if I was going for game. I don't think I used this in playoffs. I definitely used this a couple of times.
Yeah. I think in one feature match, you OTK somebody using it as well. Very handy.
And then into the XEs. So we play one Bahamut Shark, and of course with Bahamut Shark we play the one Toadally Awesome. That was one of the main negates that I tried to turbo out going first. It came up quite a lot. Being able to set some of my opponent's spells and traps with this. So someone tried to compulse me, I think, during playoffs. I used this. I set that compulse myself. I used it against him. It's really good. The next one is Abyss Dweller. Again, it's 2 water monsters, so it gets the water value for the effects. And again, Abyss Dweller is really good. There goes an orange.
It's Jam's channel, he needs an orange.
The next XE I run is number 41 Baguska. I'm going to cut this. Yeah, it never came up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it never came up. I didn't like it. Thinking of cutting this, making another better card, really.
Alright.
Tornado Dragon, really good, because I'm not running Nightmare Phoenix. I felt like this was really good, very easy to summon out, again, keeps control, and it's bigger than Phoenix as well. And because it's a quick effect pop, it was really handy for those field spells, continuous, like just removing those problems. Came up in the Witchcraft matchup, I believe.
Nice.
And then the last rank 4 was Galgul Cowboy. This came up about 3 times, I want to say. Like, it got negated, I think, twice. One time it did come up for game. I was so happy that this came up for game. I'm glad I had it, because a lot of the times after battle I end up having like 800 or below to finish him off, and this just finishes it off for me. Yeah. Didn't use it in time, literally just used it for game.
When you're just short of a game, just 800 damage extra for game, yeah.
And then I play 2 Cyber Dragon Nova as well as 2 Cyber Dragon Infinity.
Why 2?
I originally played 1 each and played like more Link monsters, but there was a vote to ban this because everyone was getting annoyed at this card. So I decided, and after the vote said that this card was still fine to stay, I was like, you know what, I've had enough, I'm gonna pump it up.
Did you use a second one?
It never came up because I knew people were running Mega Fleet, so I was trying to play the deck a bit more conservatively at playoffs. Which is like game 1, you saw me against Wario, I summoned Toad over this, but I could have done this option instead. But I summoned 1 off a couple of times, but I don't think I'm going to take out the second one now, because I think just in case, if I lose the Infinity, it's good to just have another Infinity for backup. This is just my favourite card of the game. This card's insane, and I try and play a lot of decks that run this card, because I just love the card.
It's good.
So,
side deck.
Side decking really depends on the format, like what you're going into. Obviously, this is built for Scrub League, so
for the playoffs, do you remember what were the good ones?
For me, it was Heavy Stormduster for the back row. Like Rivalry of Warlords was a card for zombies in the final. I sided in the Stormdusters for that. Can't remember if I saw it or not because it was a while ago. Ghost Ogre as well. That came in so many times because people were like. When I went second, it was easy to side in the Ghost Ogres, take out the statues, take out the compulsors, play the Ghost Ogre, and people just didn't see it coming. They were the 2 main ones. I had like things like Nibiru, and it just didn't come up. I had Unending Nightmare.
There was also Called By.
There was a Called By, and Called By was in the side, and it came in the semi-finals, which is how I survived. I didn't main deck Called By, I did side it, and I was quite lucky at it, to be fair. So I'll take that. But yeah, that's the deck.
That's it. Season 19 championship winning Scrub League deck. Dinomist. Congrats, Kieran. Any final shout outs?
I've got to shout out Julian, I guess. Got to shout out my own teammate, I guess, from last year. Had that chemistry. Everyone says carried me. Clearly, I managed to win on my own. Had to get that. Good job. Other than that, that's probably it. I just shout out everyone at the shop for playing with me. It's always been fun.
Wonderful.
I enjoy Scrub League. And yeah, shout out to Kara 203.
Thank you. Cheers.
Welcome.